So I realized a lot of the skills that I had as a therapist would go well towards supporting people on their journeys. So that's what I do now, and I want to thank Marla and Gabby. I don't know where Marla went.
Well, Gabby's over
Gabby's
here.
So they work at this space, Serendipity Labs. I met Marla at a chamber event, and we did a tour, and she told me about these partnered events, and they sounded really exciting, so here we are. So this is a workspace. They have office space here, they have conference rooms, they've got subscription, membership, they've got all these things. So if you're interested in potentially renting here for you or a small business, Marla and Gabby will do tours towards the end of the event. If you're interested, if you're all interested, we can like all walk around together in like a big family gathering, or or if you want an individual tour, you can do that. So, and I also want to thank Elise for bringing the OSB hard cider for all of us.
Drink it, I don't know if you get home.
So she volunteered that, and I appreciate that. So definitely check out either their brewery down in Lakeville, or if you're in Buffalo, she has a bar in downtown Buffalo. So highly recommend. All right, so I prepared a little speech, I guess, and then I figured we can kind of go from there. We can have like a discussion, questions. It is kind of a big group, so however we want to do it. But when you listen to this speech, I guess I just want you to just absorb it and not try and think too much about it. And if you were coming in with questions prior to it by seeing the description, and you're like, Stacey, what you talked about has nothing to do with the questions that I have, don't let that stop you from asking, because it really does all relate, because I'm going to talk about the person in the inner world when it comes to leadership. So I'm not going to be talking, it's not going to sound like a normal leadership sort of talk. So just want to let you know that. So, all right. So the truth is, you are the creator of your reality, and you are the only person in the way from getting to the dreams that you most desire in your life. This was a very difficult fact for me to accept myself. I knew it to be true, though, in my bones, because I know I have tremendous power for great things. But my mind could not see the way. When the mind can't see the path, it goes into doubt and starts pointing out every single physical block that is in the way. It will see all these factors outside of our control and blame those are the reason for keeping you back. You might say it's because of finances, or family members, or your boss, or your geographical location, or a health issue. These can be very convincing because it appears to be unarguable evidence that is unchangeable and that you feel powerless over it. You shrink, you limit yourself, maybe you even feel despair, depression, you begin to deflate. You move into what we call survival mode, which wreaks havoc on our nervous system, our relationships, and our ability to create resources. do because the mind always looks for facts based in the current physical reality, and jumping into the world of faith is scary, ungrounded, and illogical. Learning how to act in accordance with the future reality is how we essentially collapse time. This is why those in personal development engage in vision boards and intention setting. Now, I enjoy these activities from time to time and even have my clients engage in it, as there's something for every stage of the game. But moving out of survival mindset into the limitless field of potentiality, or the unmanifested, requires a sort of crazy that not everyone is ready for. Even if you are ready for it, you're going to be met with a lot of resistance, not only by your own mind, but also when you tell other people about your dreams. They will begin to project their own survival mindset onto you. They'll parrot all your unsaid fears to your face, and it'll feel like you're looking at a mirror with your critical mind looking back at you. You still see yourself in them because you haven't fully harnessed your own inherent power. It is imperative that you move out of survival mindset, not just from a thought-based perspective, but from a nervous system standpoint as well. We must learn how to truly relax, and that's where the body work comes into play. I help my clients to experience the sensation of their emotions in their body, to be with them with compassion and tolerate more and more intensity without buying into the meaning or stories associated with all of it. I encourage them to engage in body-related practices, anything that helps them to be in their body so they can help integrate all of this learning on a deeper level. For successful, intelligent people, we are often stuck in our mind, overthinking almost everything. We must use our body to get out of the mind and into our intuition, into our energy, and listening what the rest of us have to say. I spent so much time of my life disconnected between my mind and my body. I always felt those familiar wars between my head and my heart. I felt like I was constantly losing, no matter what. I'm not saying I'm completely free of this tension in my life, but I honestly do not feel bogged down by it anymore if I experience it. Because I approach life now in the present moment, and when you feel integrated as a whole human being, your decisions become easier and they feel more aligned, and you have less internal discord within yourself. I reduced my internal division by stepping 100% forward in areas that I was drawn to, even if I knew the outcome would be unfavorable by my mind. My intuition was pushing me there because there was learning that needed to take place for me. This is when I could finally embody the truth that the learning is the prize, the growth is the prize. When we know this deep in our bones, we realize that the only choice then is to jump, because the jump itself is where the learning takes place, and it sends us into the void of where our creativity lives. There is no landing. It's actually impossible, because when you step off the precipice and into the void, it is infinite. You are swimming in the unmanifested field, the place where everything is born. This is a lot for our minds to comprehend, accept, and relate into our physical reality. So it takes work to learn how to actually apply this knowledge. What does it mean, and how do I use it? One motto I use to support me through my learnings so that I could actively dive headfirst into whatever shenanigans I was drawn to is that rejection is protection. Anytime that you are rejected, whether it's by a person, an opportunity, anything, it is always for the best. It is actually a divine intervention of protection instead of actually being rejected. This requires a deep ability to let go. I must trust that the not working out is my benefit, even though my ego cannot see that. My ego is wanting a certain outcome, and it is attributing some sort of meaning to myself by not going how it says that it's supposed to go. forcing outcomes through my mind. This goes for any relationship, opportunity, from work to romance to life in general. Stop fighting everything all the time. Stop resisting all the time and realize that there is truth. There is gold in every single thing that is presented to you, regardless if you label it as good or bad. This is how we finally step out of the good-bad paradigm and the bullshit tit-for-tat ways that bog us down. The work I step into with people is far beyond coping skills, far beyond communication styles. It's literally shedding foundational systems that don't serve us at the top. Those systems could only serve us at the bottom, maybe the middle, and they seem to serve us at the top, but only when it comes with burnout, exhaustion, and problems. To shed the old, we must step into a new way of being that allows you to play at the levels that you're meant to play at. We must get comfortable with the void, the place where everything is born. We in our human must remain empty and open for whatever needs to drop in. As soon as something drops in, an idea, a nudge, a solution, a call to action, I must commit to it and move forward without question. Because what drops in is coming from that still place within us. It's coming from our creativity, our genius that is unique to us. And whatever comes in is the precise thing that will move you forward and help you step into your power. We must remain still and feel our way step by step, as if we are blindfolded, sensing our way through life, sensing our way around the room, only moving forward towards a nudge for reasons unknown to the mind. The outcomes don't matter. You're simply following the intrigue of curiosity, just as the same reason a child picks up a particular rock to play with, because he finds that particular rock to be interesting. So now we enter the realm of play. The play becomes the action becomes the play. We must believe in our mission to the depths of our bones, yet simultaneously remain empty to receive the greatest insights for our creation, while exercising our nervous system to hold the immense amount of tension or energy so that we can stand tall and not allow ourselves to collapse into overwhelm. As it is in the capacity to feel the depth of our belief in ourselves, our ability to suspend our ego, that we are able to embody the powerful being that we truly are. The most magnetic people are able to create their own pleasure. They are so turned on by their life that they lack any need for the external to make them happy or satisfied. This is highly alluring to others, because when you satisfy yourself, you have zero need or trace of desperation, which is the opposite of confidence. This is one of the reasons that we must learn to come into our bodies and expand the capacity of our nervous system to feel pleasure. Feeling pleasure is about being present. It's about coming into your senses and moving with curiosity towards what lights you up instead of trying to use the external to distract you from yourself. Trying to fill the empty void with the external is how addiction is born. We do not want to fill the void. We want it to remain empty and to allow for our creations to come, to remain empty so that we can sense, feel, and be present towards our own inner compass. We must reject being a slave to what we should do or what is expected to do from not only our critical mind, but the critics of society. Your inner world becomes your guidance system. But if we cannot feel, if we cannot tolerate it, our genius will be in a prison trapped by our inability to truly feel. Most of us have a lot of blocks when it comes to feeling positive emotions, and emotions of any kind that make us feel good. We use pleasure to increase our ability to swim in positive affect so that we can tolerate more, and then we become more magnetic. And that power is sourced from within, our ability to expand our emotional tolerance As we do this work, our actions become intuitively based. They will not make sense from the perception of the mind, and the personal work is not allowing the mind to hook and block the creative flow. The mind will attempt to hook in with doubt and limitations and point to the external reality as evidence of your inabilities. The intuitive move is the one that will always bring you in the direction that is necessary for you to grow and evolve. This is deeper than self-trust. It is honoring. It's in deference to, and it's in devotion to your intuitive command without questioning it. The process of me standing here today was not born from I need to look for a venue to hold an event and then Googled some venues and found Marla. That's not how it happened. It was way more vague than that. I just knew I needed to do something to grow my business, and I had no fucking clue how to do it. I joined the chamber. I met Marla. We did a tour of the space. She told me about the partnered events, and I immediately was intrigued. But my mind tried to tell me there's no way I could even get 5 people to come see me do whatever I'm doing. I experienced doubts and limitations around my ability to gather a crowd. It took me about 6 weeks to get over